Hello, lovely podcast listeners. Welcome to episode 6. Yes, I'm definitely counting. You got to keep counting your numbers, haven't you? That's what I learned anyway after my last admission in episode 3 about my secret battle in 2018 and before with finances, financial debt that I was in heavily, got myself in over a period of time, thankfully got out of. And then shared with you via podcast format. And I have to say, the responses I had from you were unbelievable. Hundreds of you got in touch via email, comment, all that stuff. It hit home, I think, for a lot of people. I'm very, very pleased to hear some of you took some inspiration from it, and you're going to make 2019 the best yet. Today, however, I don't want to revisit too much. I want to follow up on what I learnt personally during that time, getting myself into debt, getting myself out of debt, and then through openly admitting it to you guys, and then hopefully again give you some more inspiration to take away and go and do something better with 2019, because this is our year, people. This is our year. Okay, so I'm going to try and nip this in the bud in a relatively quick time and just get through 3 key points today. Firstly, there was a question a lot of you asked me about: how did you end up in so much debt, Frank? What happened? Why did you end up there? I want to clarify that. Then you also wanted to know how I got out of it. What did you do differently? How did you get yourself out of it, Frank? So I'll quickly wrap that one up for you. And then thirdly, what I've learnt from the whole experience and how I think it relates to all issues, all anxieties, fears and stresses, and even, strangely enough, to things like weight loss. I do believe there's a crossover between what I went through and what people and my clients go through every single day, and certainly this time of year. So let's start from the beginning. How did I get there? How did I get into that position where I panicked? I looked at some bills that needed paying and thought, how can I actually pay them? It's not going to happen. That was in March 2018, was that moment where I had the realisation I couldn't go on my friend's stag do. Literally, physically couldn't afford to do it, so I had to say no, and that hurt me. It was pretty simple, really. I spent far too much and didn't earn enough. That's basically what happened. Simple science. Didn't bring in enough. Spent too much. That was it. There you go. Easy peasy. Same with weight loss. You eat too much, you don't lose weight. You know, simple science, isn't it? And that's what I'll come on to later. But to give you some more detail and context for anyone who's interested, I have been in the health and fitness industry for over 10 years. Mixture of jobs, personal training, selling memberships and all that jazz. Predominantly working with clients, but leading up to the birth of my first daughter Ella in 2014, in the 2 or 3 years prior to that, I was a gym manager of a large health club, heading a team of 16 personal trainers, and not enjoying it, in honesty, because the job itself took me away from what I liked doing and took me into an office role where ultimately you're trying to encourage a team of personal trainers to earn more money for a club. That's basically your job. The moment Ella was born, during the paternity leave, I made a snap decision to hand me notice in and go back to personal training, but this time self-employed on my own, you know, flying solo. I was going to go and conquer the world. So that's what I did. Katie was off work at the time. I was adamant I wanted her to have a year off. She wanted to, obviously, because I was told by many, many wiser people than me that that moment in a child's life only comes once, you know, that time when they're really small and they want to cuddle and they're learning day in, day out. Only comes once. So I wanted Katie to be around as much as she could for that. And yeah, it just happened to be I decided to start a business at the same time, which anyone who has made that leap before into starting a business may understand. It's not realistic to earn lots of money off the bat. Whereas me over here, Mr. Positive, always looking at the positive side of things, Mr. Chirpy, assumed that day one I'd be coining it in. It didn't happen. It took a few years to even start to make a decent enough profit to live a life of comfortable living that I want to with my children and my family. And yeah, that first 2 to 3 years of self-employment, finding my feet in this world on my own, was more difficult than I'd anticipated. I was spending quite freely. We were still going on holidays. We went out to eat often, took the kids on days out often. Didn't really consider the fact I wasn't making as much money as I should have done, and I was the sole earner for the family, so it was a mistake on my part. I can't blame anyone else. It was me, naivety, not looking to ask for help from anyone else in the business world, which I should have done. And then when my second daughter was born in 2016, this is testing me now, 2016 it was, Chloe, we did it again. Katie had another year off. I was earning a little bit more, but still, in honesty, not as much as I thought. I had lots of clients. Yeah, my books were full, but I was a one-to-one trainer. When you train people one-to-one, although the hourly figure looks quite a lot, people always go, oh, you must be raking it in, mate, the amount you charge. You can only do so many hours, right? And you can't work 8 hours non-stop during the day. It don't happen. You just, if you want to keep energy and give your clients the best, you just physically can't do that. You can, let's do, say, 5 or 6 clients a day to be at your optimum. 5 or 6 days per week. That leaves you with 30 hours, 35 hours maximum per week. And then you haven't even factored in the expenses that is required. Now you're running a business on your own. Uniform, petrol, equipment, education, websites, advertising, all that stuff is an expense. And I hadn't accounted for that when I set out on my business, and it got me in trouble. So how did I change it? Well, I'd already made movements to scale up my earnings through online training. I created what's now known as the 6-week home exercise bootcamp, which is a series of videos we take clients through online on a website. So you sign up to the 6-week home exercise bootcamp. I've put on a structured program of home exercise videos that you follow. There is no limit really to how many clients you can have on that. When we first started, we were getting 10 or 20 coming on a group, and now it's hooked up to hundreds on a group. And we've had over 2,000 clients now done the 6-week home exercise bootcamp in the last year. So it's a phenomenal way of reaching far more people than I could in a gym. And it was the way I got out of debt, to be honest. And it's the way I intend to continue to keep the finances comfortable and also satisfy my selfish need to help lots of people. I get enjoyment out of helping lots of clients. I love nothing more than hearing stories of people turning their lives around through fitness and exercise programs they've done with me. It's fantastic. I love it. So in 2018, March, at that point when I realised I didn't have enough money, I made a snap decision, a very tough decision, to cut a lot of the one-to-one clients I was working with in person. That was hard to do because a lot of these people had been loyal to me for many years. They'd come from health club to health club with me into self-employment, and I love these people. To cut them out of my diary was hard to do, but I was in a situation at that time where I just had to do it because I needed to give more time to the one thing that could earn me potentially more money, which was the online stuff, which to think about content to do, to actually create videos to ensure that your clients are as happy as they can be as they go through the program. It takes time, and when you're serving one-to-one clients, that time is being taken away from you. So I had to get rid of it. I did. It was tough, but that was the turning point for me, and I'm going to continue to do that. So really my scenario of getting into debt and getting out of debt is a very simple one, and some people might listen and go, well, that seems obvious, mate. You need to earn as much as you can to scale up your business so you can get more people that are you're serving and giving you money essentially to do a program, and you need to cut your expenses as much as you can. But it just wasn't, as obvious as it seems. Just like weight loss, calories in versus calories out, it's harder to actually apply. I'm on my way. I'm pleased to say I'm on my way. I had to go to a point where it was low enough that I had to change, and that's where I think the crossover comes. You may have issues with money, as I did, And hopefully listening to my story may inspire you to change a little bit and have a look at where you could potentially make better use of your time to bring in more money and cut expenses. But I also think a lot of you are obviously thinking about fitness and weight loss particularly. I know most people that follow me and people I serve want to lose weight. Something in the lines of 3/4 of you want to do that. You know, as well as I do, that you need to take some control over the energy you bring in, i.e. the calories you consume, and you also need to take control of how many calories you're burning every day in order to get the results you want. We all know what we have to do. It's the actual application of doing it which is the difficult part. And if you're in a place where you're not achieving what you want to with weight loss, I think now is the time to just be honest with yourself and say, can I change? Is there anything I can do right now to put me on the right path? It will take me time to do that, as it is with me and my finances. I'm by no means flush with cash yet, but we're moving forward, and that's the key point. Realise you have to do it, start doing it, and then enjoy the successes if and when you get them. And alongside that, I think the big thing would be telling someone someone close to you. You don't have to go and do a podcast like me. Tell someone about the fears and the stresses and the anxieties you're having around that problem, whether it be money or weight loss or relationships or anything in life. Be open. People won't put you down. They won't make you feel bad. They're going to do everything to make you feel better and help you. And that's all I've received since opening up about this on New Year's Day with podcast number 3. I've had so many messages, as I said, hundreds of you have reached out, but not just that. My family, my friends have all been a lot more open with me and said, why didn't you tell me, mate? Why didn't you say? We'd always help you out. And I kind of feel stupid for not doing it sooner. Be better than me. Be quicker to act. Take it now. Tell someone today. Go and make a difference to your life right now. 2019 is your year. You can go and do it, whatever that it is. Making a better business for yourself, making a better life for you and your family, feeling better about your body and your weight loss and your confidence, and going forward in the future knowing that you can be open and honest about anything, and that is the way to move forward. I hope that clarifies every question you guys have asked me. I hope that brings an end to this chapter, as it were, in episode 6. We won't have to come back here again. We can talk about fitness and all the stuff that you probably enjoy far more. But thank you for listening. Once again, please comment and email me if you have anything you want to ask, or any advice maybe that you might have personally. Maybe you're in a similar scenario to I was or am, and I can help you. Maybe you're a personal trainer coming into the business and wondering about how you should look at structuring things going forward. And if you're trying to lose some weight, get yourself fit and active, you know where I am. Fit with Frank is across social media. You can follow me for free on there. You can do my free workouts, or you can join one of our 6-week home exercise boot camps. We run them in line with the school terms at the moment. So at this time now, the next group is the 25th of February. We'll be taking on a group. There'll be hundreds of you again coming through this workout series with me. But I'm here to help. That's what I want to nail home today. If you're listening on iTunes, please give us a 5-star review if you think I deserve it, because I'm really trying to raise awareness about what we're doing. You'll see the great guests I'm getting involved. There's so many I've already seen, phenomenal people, and even more lined up from all sorts of walks of life. I'm going to have fun with it, whatever happens, and I'd love you to come with me. Subscribe, review, say hello if you can. Love to hear from you. Thanks for listening. Have fun, whatever you're doing.